With near-perfect ratings impacting millions of people's lives, including mine, and the spark that ignited my love for games, and setting the standard and pioneering what a 3D game should be, today I'm looking at The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Hello everyone, welcome to Retro Replay, a show where I replay the games I had growing up as a kid to see if they still hold up today. Ocarina of Time was a very special game that I owned, and I remember very fondly of playing it on my absolutely massive, yet small-screened, fatback CRT. The thing was so heavy I had to have it on a solid wooden desk so nothing would break under its weight. For this video, I will be mainly referencing the 3DS version of the Ocarina of Time, as I believe that is the definitive version of the game. I played the Nintendo 64 version a lot, and it's very special to me, but I got a copy of the 3D version and a 3DS with the sequel Majora's Mask in high school for Christmas one year. I didn't play Majora's Mask that much beforehand, and I honestly don't remember that much, since Ocarina of Time completely overshadowed it, so I'll be doing a review on it soon, almost completely blind, and I'm really looking forward to it. The original version was released in 1998 and was the first Zelda game to use 3D graphics and was led by 5 directors. Those being Eiji Onuma, Yoshiaki Koizumi, produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, written by Kensuke Tanabe, and composed by Koji Kondo. The game was developed at the same time as Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64 on the Nintendo 64 in 1994, costing $12 million with over 200 employees. Despite the dev team being new to making 3D games, the game would go on to sell 7.6 million copies, ranked by many publications as the greatest video game ever made, and recently officially voted as that. In the United States, it had 3 times as many pre-orders than any other game at the time. The game made $456 million and solidified as truly living up to the name as legend. For the 3D version, it was hinted at E3 in 2010 to be released on the 3DS, but was deliberately released later because Miyamoto wanted players that had played it on the Nintendo 64 as kids to be in their mid-20s. It was co-developed by Grezzo, a fellow Japanese developer. According to the Grezzo programming director Shun Moria, some of the programming bugs in the game were intentionally left in because they were so committed to remaking the game just as it was 13 years ago. Though some did have to be fixed, they left what they could. Original producer Eiji Onuma said that he wanted to make the game a little bit more challenging, so this inspired Master Quest and the Boss Challenge mode to be added to the remake. Just like the original release, Ocarina of Time 3D received overwhelmingly positive reviews, despite the bar being set so high by the original. Real quick, I want to go into differences between the 3DS version and the original Nintendo 64 version. Obviously, the biggest glaring difference is graphics. Everything in the game has had graphical improvements. Characters are now more detailed, and flat, pre-rendered backgrounds are now rendered in real time. That is a double-edged sword in the best possible way, as the Shadow Temple and bottom of the well are more detailed in skulls and bones. This goes hand in hand with the music to still be truly unsettling, just as it was when I was a kid. There are many quality of life improvements made in the 3D version, so here's a list of them shown right now, and I'll go into detail about the ones I think are most important, or ones I just like the best. This one is Sheikah Stones. If you're lost or stuck and don't know what to do, there's Sheikah Stones littered throughout Hyrule that Link can crawl into and receive visions on what to do next. Visions can vary from main story progression to side quests and even bonus content. Another improvement are equip buttons. Being as the 3DS has 2 extra face buttons and 2 touchpad buttons on the bottom screen, you can now use 4 items at a time rather than just 3 on the Nintendo 64 C buttons. Since I played on Azahar emulator and used my mouse for touch controls, I basically nerfed myself by mostly using the X and Y buttons, but honestly, I didn't even mind because I was having a great time. My favorite change is the hover and iron boots being switched to items rather than equipment, so you no longer need to pause the game to equip or unequip different boots. The Shard of Agony was a stone in the original, relying on a rumble pack for the 64, which I did not have, so this item was useless to me, as it would vibrate when you're near a secret. In the remake, this was changed to a chime and a flashing icon on screen when you're near, and it was actually helpful this time when I was searching for heart pieces and gold skulltulas. For the music, like I mentioned in my Ratchet Deadlock review, I'm not very good at analyzing music, but the soundtrack for the game is just as legendary as it is. Koji Kondo killed it. Every song makes you feel wherever you are, whether you're at Lon Lon Ranch with Malin and Epona, or running across Hyrule Field, or relaxing in Kakariko Village, which is actually one of my very favorite soundtracks I've ever listened to. The plot for Ocarina of Time is separated into two acts, as a child and as an adult. As a child, you gain the Kokiri Emerald before even being able to explore the world and are told to visit Princess Zelda in Hyrule Castle. You travel there and she speaks with you, telling you of the evil Ganondorf, and that you must pull the sacred Master Sword from its pedestal, but to get to it, you need to open the doors that are sealing it. To do that, you must venture to Death Mountain and obtain the Goron Ruby, and to the Zora River to obtain the Zora Sapphire. After acquiring all 3 spiritual stones, you're about to return to the town, but the drawbridge is closed, no matter what time of day you approach it. The drawbridge lowers, revealing Zelda and Impa riding away on horseback as Zelda throws something to the nearby moat. Ganondorf rides out after them on his large black stallion, stopping to ask you if you saw where they went. Link has no words for him and instead draws his little knife sword and dinky wooden shield. Ganondorf is rightfully amused that you think you can stand up to him and easily swats you out of the way. After you swim into the moat and retrieve the ocarina, you learn the Song of Time needed to open the doors that are sealing the Master Sword away. The door to the Master Sword opens using the Song of Time, and you pull it out. However, you aren't old enough to use its power and are sealed for 7 years. Link is 17 at this point, which, sidebar real quick, we need to evaluate what Japan's age brackets are, because Gohan was 11 when he defeated Cell, and he was called a teen. Since you were sealed away, Ganondorf acquired the Triforce of Power and basically did to Hyrule what Scar did to Pride Lands. The Light Sage Rauru explains to you what you must do now. Clear the 5 temples and rescue their sages, familiar and friendly faces alike. A mysterious young man named Sheik meets you at each temple and teaches you a warp song to that location, whether as fast travel around Hyrule or a quick return to that dungeon whenever you're ready. After clearing the final dungeon and collecting the last medallion, you're told to go to the Temple of Time, where it's revealed that Sheik was Princess Zelda the whole time, being in disguise to hide from Ganondorf while still helping you on your quest. In doing so, she reveals that you have the Triforce of Courage, and she has the Triforce of Wisdom. Unfortunately, she expectedly blows her cover and is captured by Ganondorf. You go to his castle, venturing through it, and finally meeting face to face for the second and final time. This is it. Beating Ganondorf, he uses his power to crush the castle to the ground, but after escaping with Princess Zelda, he reverts to his true form, Ganon. Laying one final strike straight into his skull, Ganon is defeated and sealed away, and the realms are safe once again. Afterwards, you talk with Princess Zelda. She sends you back to the Temple of Time as a child, before you two met for the first time. You're back in your original body as Navi flies away, her purpose fulfilled. You return to meet Zelda once again, and the game ends on a freeze frame. So, is Ocarina of Time still just as good as when I played it as a kid?
Yes.
Thank you so much if you made it this far. I'm sorry for the wait for this video. I got sick and I had to get better. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the guys that are making the Ocarina of Time remake in Unreal Engine. It's really awesome, and last I checked, they have made it up to the point of to where you go to Zora Fountain. I haven't played it for myself personally, but last time I played it, it was really awesome, and I really enjoyed it, and I just thought you guys would like it too. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.